Hey guys, as we get into this riff, I have to thank newstarcadefan for suggesting this one. And I saw that the Maz riff this months ago, but I haven't seen it yet, so any similar riffs are purely coincidental. Now let's get into it. Okay, not gonna lie, that might be the best opening Coronet title slate there's ever been. What the? Was that candy apple I ate laced with something? Alright, first Halloween safety tip. If you're seeing hideous faces floating in the dark, see a psychologist immediately. Hey, back up! Jeez! 1985, where every child's Halloween costume was an awful mask depicting non-infringible characters.
Halloween is really a special time, isn't it? Especially for me. You can see why if you know who I am.
The neighborhood nonce?
That's me, a jack-o'-lantern.
What?
At Halloween time
First the horrifying floating faces and now this? What are you, Coronet?
It's a nice and scary time, isn't it? All those wonderful costumes and masks and makeup. I think about how much fun Halloween is.
Jeez, I thought Mr. Paper Bag's animation was cheap.
About the things that can spoil the fun of Halloween. Those kinds of things scare me too, but in a different way. For instance,
razor blades in that box of oranges old man Jenkins gave out this year.
Corey, have you got that pumpkin ready yet?
Corey's going to carve a pumpkin with her dad.
And as a living pumpkin yourself, you're going to happily let us watch it get hacked to pieces? You're sick, Mr. Jack-o'-lantern.
Probably.
Come on here and set it down.
Okay.
Let me get the paper straightened out.
How's that?
That's fine. Have you decided what kind of face you're going to make on it yet?
I'm happy.
Alright, just pick a knife there, Dad.
Now, a pumpkin's not easy to carve. I know that. You need the proper tools. But first you have to draw a face that you can carve.
Wait. Let's go back to
Corey's
you
doing
knowing
that.
how hard it is to carve. Have you carved a pumpkin, or are you remembering the struggle the human had viciously carving you?
Then you cut the top off so you can scoop out the insides. It takes a sharp knife. And you know sharp knives can be dangerous if they're not used right. I'm glad that Corey's father is helping her. It's much safer that way.
I don't know about that. Dad here doesn't look like a man I'd trust to wield a sharp object.
Pull that off.
Ew, look.
You ever seen the inside of a pumpkin before?
Yeah. Not that way.
Okay, now.
Not that way. Then in what context have you ever seen the inside of a pumpkin?
Getting my inside scooped out tickles me. It'd tickle you too. If you were a pumpkin.
This is getting weird, even by the Living Objects Educational
So
Short
far,
Standards.
it's been fun. But look at Corey's hand. Kinda gooey, isn't it? Corey is going to carve the face with a small knife. Can you imagine how that knife could slip and maybe cut her?
Oh, you'd like that, wouldn't you? A
I
human
hope Corey
finally
will do the
feeling the
safe
visceral torture you did being carved up, you animate, disturbing gourd.
Good, that's a lot better.
Yeah, the washing is
clean,
better,
dry
but
hand
definitely
can
not
hold
those
a knife
plaid
safely.
paper towels.
And cut with it safely too. Cut slowly, carefully, in small slices, and always cut away from yourself.
Thank you.
Make sure there's an adult, or someone a lot older than you.
If
Who
you're
can
old
help
enough to
you if
use a
you need
knife,
help?
then doesn't the standard
That's
of
the
a
safe
lot
way to
older
carve
than
a
you
pumpkin.
always
I'm
qualify as
glad
an
Corey
adult?
isn't going to spoil her Halloween fun. Carve carefully. That's one way to have a Halloween that's fun and safe. But what about having a candle burning inside your pumpkin? Well, I'm sitting on brick. But a candle and a pumpkin on a wooden porch might not be safe at all.
Yes, because
A
assessing the
flashlight could be
safety
a
of the
lot
porch on
safer than.
Halloween is
But
absolutely
it's
the
best to
9-year-old's
stay away
job.
from lighted candles that are inside or outside of jack-o'-lanterns. You know why. Well, not everybody carves a pumpkin on Halloween. But
Some
just
people
about
just stay home
everybody
binging
does
Disney
dress
Plus
up in
while
a
eating the
costume.
whole bag of fun-sized Kit
For
Kats that they told the
instance, look
cashier was
across
for
the street there.
trick-or-treaters.
Do you see what I see? That robot is Jeremy in his costume.
They look a little janky now, but Jeremy is gonna hone his skills and grow up to rock the cosplay circuit one day.
Oh, Jessica, it's you. How do you like my costume? You look great.
Well, it may look great from the outside, but from the inside, things don't look very good at all. Jeremy can't see very well with his robot head on, and I don't think the rest of his costume lets him walk very well. He can't bend his knees.
It's been established adults are in this world, so shouldn't they be looking out for Jeremy here?
It's hard for Jeremy to keep his balance. If Jeremy went out like that, he might keep losing his balance all the time. He might fall down just anywhere, and probably everywhere. Sidewalks hurt you when you fall on them, and so do streets. And streets
Yeah,
are
Mr.
especially
Jack-o'-lantern,
dangerous to
pretty
fall
much
down
any
on.
surface hurts if you fall onto
Jeremy
it.
has to be able to walk better if he doesn't want to spoil his Halloween fun. There, that's better.
Yes,
A
kids,
costume shouldn't
use the
make you
special
trip
dark
or
arts
fall.
only
That's
accessible
not
on
safe.
Halloween
It
to make
should
your
be
costume
easy
more
for you to move
flexible.
in your costume. And you have to be able to see where you're going.
Look, Jessica.
A mask that makes it hard to see could get you into all kinds of trouble. There, that's much better.
Much easier to see
Jeremy
when you
can
make the
see
eye
well
holes
now
bigger than a
and move
thumbtack.
safely in his costume too.
Now I'm going to try my...
Oh, but look at Jessica. She can't see much with her mask on.
Why can't she use the same black magic Jeremy just did to fix her costume?
A monster needs an ugly face. But does it have to be a mask? Makeup can be just as good, and it's always just the right size for you. Just don't get it in your eyes.
So based on which kid got parental aid, we clearly
If
know
you're
who
not
the
too good
favorite
at putting
child
on
is in this
makeup,
household.
Get an adult to help you. Make sure your mask and costume let you see well and walk well.
And jump
they
well,
won't spoil
crouch
your
well,
fun on
and juggle
Halloween.
well.
Of course, the reason you get all dressed up at Halloween is so you can have fun going trick-or-treating.
I take it back. Maybe Jeremy's the favorite kid after all.
And I like to see all the children out in their costumes. But when I see them, I always hope they don't forget all they know about crossing streets safely. And I hope you don't either. That's especially important when drivers can't see you well.
Yes, because
And
the
for you to
aluminum-covered
see the cars
robot in
well.
your group won't be
It's a good
blinding the
idea to take
drivers
off
and
your
alerting
mask
them to
when you
your
cross.
presence whatsoever.
Even though it may not be night yet, it's dark enough to make things outdoors hard to see.
Which
You
this shot
and the
totally
cars.
disproves, as you're all
It
quite
makes me so happy
visible.
when I see children look to their left for cars, then right for cars, then left again before they cross.
And maybe just listen to the adults who've been with you
mustn't
this whole
forget all the
time
safety
and you'll be
rules you know
perfectly
on Halloween.
fine.
And especially because it's dark. It's safest not to cross between parked cars. That can be very dangerous. And don't cut across yards or empty lots. When it's dark, you can't see what's there.
You kids better fear every single pathway outside that isn't
Remembering
sidewalks.
safety rules
If you
is
even
very
dare
important
step on a
for
blade of
Halloween.
grass or piece of
There's something else
non-crosswalk
that can help
asphalt,
keep you
you'll
safe
burst into
outside when
flames
it's
and
dark.
cinder.
You'll see right away. Yes, just as I thought. They're coming up my walk now. The people who live in my house like to take pictures of the children who come by.
Then the people in your house are absolute creepazoids, Mr. Jack-o'-lantern.
Take a picture for a treat, too. Everybody smile.
Now you'll see what there is about their costumes that makes it easier for drivers to see them when it's dark.
Which definitely were not
you
visible
see
in the
how
scenes
easy
of
it
them
is to
crossing
see
the
the bright
street,
colors
and
in the
therefore
costumes?
were useless unless
Bright
exposed to
colors are
flash
easier to see at
photography.
night than dark colors are. But there's something else. Some parts seem to glow from the camera flash. That's how those parts will look when car headlights shine on them.
I still refuse to let you see this effect in action. Just
Those are
take my
pieces of
word for it,
special tape
kids.
that reflect light very well. You can put tape like that on your costume and on your trick-or-treat bag.
Or go all out.
Some
Just wrap
costumes
yourself in
already have
reflective tape as your
reflective
whole
material on them.
costume for extra security.
Making your costume and your bag easy to see makes you easy to see. And that's a good way to help make Halloween safe. The safer Halloween is, the more fun it is, for you and for me.
Oh, so this
That's
is all
what I
about
think.
our safety affecting your
But some
safety,
people have
huh,
a
Mr.
strange idea of
Pumpkinhead?
fun. They think it's fun to mess up other people's things with paint.
Well, let's all admit that, while not morally
They don't
sound,
think
it is
about
pretty
how
dang
people
fun.
feel whose things are ruined. And some people think it's fun to throw things at cars and houses and buildings. But the people whose things they're messing up don't.
Oh, how will we
I
ever
don't
wash
either.
this easily cleaned
It
up
isn't fun
substance
to
off this
spoil other
easily
people's
cleaned off
things and make them
surface?
unhappy. Some people even think it's fun to smash pumpkins.
You were clearly okay with your vegetative brothers being sliced
Oh,
and
no,
diced
that's not
earlier.
fun.
Why are you worried about
Not
pumpkin
for all the
carnage
people who work so
now?
hard carving pumpkins, and especially not for us pumpkins. Whew, wow, that was close.
We almost had to
Some
stop the
people
film
don't
and
know
let you
what
guys
fun
actually
really
go
is.
out and enjoy
I do.
this holiday.
And I'll bet you do too. And I know they do. Trick-or-treating is always fun. But there are some things you should remember to help keep it fun.
Do the last 10
One thing
minutes of
is to
safety
always
tips
go
not
out with
count toward
friends.
keeping it fun
And
then?
have an adult come along too. Don't ever trick-or-treat alone.
Nice work there, Foley artist. Perfectly synced.
And if someone you don't know very well invites you in,
Look,
What?
would you like to come in? I have more treats inside.
Those adults with them need to preemptively call the cops on that lady,
that's
like, right
Say,
now.
No thanks. And don't eat the treats while you're collecting them. Stay in your own neighborhood. Don't get too far from home.
Screw that. We're driving down to the
Don't
swanky
worry,
parts
you'll
of town where they
collect
give out the
enough
full-size candy bars.
People are expecting you. And even if you don't stop at houses with no outside lights on, which
Who
you
wastes their
shouldn't,
time
you'll
trying
have
to
a
unlit
wonderful time at
houses?
Halloween. Some of you will probably still be out when it's really dark. That's when flashlights are an especially good idea. To help you watch out for places you might fall or stumble over if you didn't see them.
Oh, if only
But
the
remember,
sidewalks were lined
don't
with
shine
long
those
metal poles
flashlights
whose
into
sole
anybody's
purpose
eyes,
was to light up the
especially
street.
a driver's eyes. That could be dangerous. It isn't hard to have a safe Halloween.
Yeah, if you can remember all 738 rules you need to follow.
Just look how easy it is to see those children when they cross. They wouldn't want an accident to spoil their Halloween fun.
I
wouldn't
wouldn't
want
call
that
that
to happen
spoiling, just spicing things up a bit.
Trick-or-treating is almost over this Halloween for Corey and Jessica and Jeremy. It's almost time for them to head for home. But what do you do with all the treats you've collected? A lot of them are things
eat
to eat,
them.
of course. But you don't eat them all. At least not right away. That's for sure. And there might be some you won't want to eat at all.
Like those
Get
3
a
plain
grown-up to help
apples.
you
Who
decide.
the heck gives out
Or at least
plain
someone a lot
apples?
older than you. You see, some people think it's fun to play tricks with your treats. Watch out for candy wrappers that have been torn or punctured. That might be a sign of tampering.
Or that Mrs. Smith bought the cheap off-brand stuff with the
There might
flimsy
be things
wrappers
in the
this
candy.
year.
So break open candy bars before you eat them. Cut fruit into pieces before you eat it.
Yup,
Just in case
I'm sure this
something's been
kid's
stuck
main
in it.
concern is the fruit.
Watch out for things that look like candy, but might be medicines or drugs, or even poisons.
Because all drug pushers want to give
Don't
away
eat
randomly
anything
for
that
free to
doesn't look
school
right.
kids with no money.
If it looks
That's the
funny,
best pill-pushing
Might
strategy.
not be so funny if you ate it. Treats are so much fun to collect. It'd be awful to have them spoil your Halloween fun by
Based
making
on what
you
we've
sick.
seen, Corey's losing like
Corey's
45%
treats
of
won't
her
make her
candy,
sick.
and there wasn't that
And I
much to
hope
begin
yours
with.
Won't make you sick either.
Probably get rid of that too.
I hope you can have the most fun you've ever had this Halloween.
Aw, I really appreciate that,
Halloween
you
can be a
bizarre little
scary
talking
time.
decoration.
Not because of witches or ghosts that we know aren't real, but because of real things that can spoil our fun. Just remember these few important things I've told you about.
Everyone get your pens and paper out for
Carve
the
your
patented
pumpkin
Coronet
carefully.
recap scene.
Make sure that you can see, and make sure people can see you.
Boost your social media numbers, get them views.
Remember all your safety rules, and take off your mask when you cross a street.
Sad that that phrase has such a new meaning these days.
Trick or treat in your own neighborhood, and don't keep any treats that don't look right.
And please report that possible predator who invited you
If
into
you
the
can do all
authorities
that,
before it's too late.
Then you won't have to worry about scary, real things happening on Halloween, right? Right.
Wow, just when I thought the animation budget couldn't get any lower. And with that, this radical dive into 1980s Halloween comes to a close. Thanks again to newstarcadefan for recommending this one. It's been a blast. And thank you all for watching. I hope you all have a happy and safe Halloween this year.